Peace, 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 family. How you all doing? I hope all is well with you. My name is Keisha. I'm the owner of Ascendant Astrology, and I am your astrology coach. Today, I'm going to be talking about the Venus conjunct Jupiter and Aries transit. I think it's going to be a big deal because we're going to feel it through the next few weeks, which is going to coincide with the Virgo full moon that we're having. So, pretty big topics to talk about. I won't be on here that long. I'm recording this also on my IG, and I'm only going to leave it up here for a few more minutes on IG, then I'm going to shut it off if you guys want to come and watch the rest of the video over on my YouTube page. The link is in the bio. Just trying it to see how this works out, but yeah, man. Let me just pull up my notes because y'all know I'm trifling with them. So, um, Venus will conjunct Jupiter and Aries tomorrow on March 1st. And again, we'll feel it for the next few weeks. Um, and because it's in Aries, this could be like goddess warrior energy, or it could be angry women energy. This is also like the king of all gods with Jupiter, and then Aries is masculine energy. Um, and Jupiter expands everything that it touches. So this can be bigger problems and challenges or bigger blessings and happiness. It really just depends on where you're at with your spiritual development and what other aspects you have with this in your chart as well. Um, Actually, for the most part, I really, really, really like this transit, mostly because we have to look at Mars um, being the ruler of Aries, which is also the ancient ruler to Scorpio in the South Node. And we've had the South Node in Scorpios for the transit is almost over. We're like halfway through that transit. And so we've had time to work with whatever's coming up now. And then Mars is currently in Gemini, and we've had that in Gemini for a while, and it's about to wrap up the transit for that as well. And Venus, um, I feel like it's the ruler of the North Node. And it's going to be the ruler of the South Node that we're moving into this year. So I'd pay attention to Venus all year round. Venus is going to be very, very, very important. Whatever she's doing is going to have play a really big role in your mission and purpose in this life, and also what you're releasing and letting go of, rethinking, redoing in some kind of way to change for the better. Hi, how are you doing? I don't want to mess up your name. Welcome, welcome. And so, in a really big way, a lot of lessons here, I feel like we're wrapping up. So, for the most part, I do feel like people are going to have a lot more blessings than they are otherwise, because again, we've had enough time to work with this energy. I'm going to post some more stuff on this. Um, as well as some rituals for this transit and Chiron. I'll be posting more about Chiron and what it is, and I have a video for it, and I'll have the link in my bio for all that information because we're going to be revisiting Chiron, and I have a whole playlist of Chiron through the signs. So you just have to know where your Chiron is, what sign it's in, and that's going to give you more information on where you're healing, how well you've healed, and what more work you may have to go through. And for that purpose alone, even Chiron, we've had Chiron for quite some time now in that transit. So I feel like it's more like a wrapping up of energy more than it is about um more lessons coming in. But again, everybody's going to be where they're at spiritually, which is going to change the dynamics of this transit. But again, IG. I didn't want to be on here too long. I really just wanted to do a quick little clip. If you want more information on this transit, please don't hesitate to come over to my YouTube page. It should be posted within an hour or two, and I would hope to see you there. Peace. Sorry, guys. I'm just in fact, I'll just wait so that I'm not wasting you guys' time to finish posting that. So anyway, um, Venus is going to be the strongest, I think, here more than anything. Again, because she's the ruler of the North Node, and so in some way you want to know where Venus is in your chart. Um, Let me just get it. Unfortunately, Venus is in detriment in Aries. It's more about the self and really not able to love, or again, she's just in her warrior energy. So really, you get I feel like this is a second opportunity to cut things out of your life that don't belong or address things that need to be fixed. Um, Especially seeing as we're coming up to the end of the real new year, right? The astrological new year. Um, and as we come into, we're going to have two Aries moons, a full moon and a new moon. I think they're both new moons, actually, which is going to help us bring in more new energy. So it's like double the dose of releasing and letting go because we're in Pisces season. It's the actual real end of the year. And then we have a lot of Pisces themes here playing out still as we're in Pisces season, helping us release and let go. And this is a full moon, which is also a full moon that we're having in Virgo, which is also about releasing and letting go. And Virgo is about detoxing, releasing and letting go, changing your patterns and habits. And then you have the New Year energy coming in at the end of the month, which is also April, the season of new beginnings, with the two moons in Aries, as well as more Aries planets, moving into Aries energy. So I think we're getting a double dose of opportunity to start something completely new. And the month of March, by the way, we have three planets changing signs. So a lot of newness happening here, a lot of newness. And so I do feel like we might get the lower expressions of these, but just as an opportunity to release and let go. Um, this can manifest as big love and generosity and abundance, and it can also um, manifest through aggression, frustration, conflicts. But they're coming up in such a way, again, where it's giving you an opportunity to fix or resolve something, get closure, and move on. Venus is the ruling planet of both Taurus and Libra. That's the second house and the seventh house. So we have to make sure that we're taking in account both Taurus and Libra energy, especially because Libra is about to be in the South Node. And so we want to pay attention again to what Venus is doing anytime Venus is being highlighted. Um, but here are some themes that can come with these two signs. So Venus rules women, love, money, savings, budgeting, banks, material items, skills and talents, food, beauty, fashion, self-worth, indulgence, sex, all relationships, marriage, contracts, agreements, counseling, mentorship, legal issues, because Jupiter also rules like federal law, higher law, and changes, Jupiter, when we're talking about legal things from Jupiter, these can change laws. And then Libra on the lower vibration or the lower level is everyday misdemeanors and, small legal issues. I definitely think we're going to hear a lot more about people going to court, trying to settle things. I know that there are a lot of people and companies, both personal people issues with work, taking companies to court for COVID and the lack of, good Lord, you can only imagine, right, how people got treated during that time. But also, big companies are suing like pharmaceuticals and hospitals and all under investigation. A lot of people have already won cases. And so I think we're going to find out a lot more people being more interested in finding out about law, what their rights are, and how they can get something in return for that. I think that's going to be a really big theme. Um, Real estate, storefronts, diplomacy, and partnerships. And Aries is the ruler of the first house. And again, Mars is the ancient ruler of Scorpio, which we currently have in our South Node right now, as well as the co-ruler to Aries. And so that's the first house. And I still feel like this is a lot of releasing and letting go, affairs, the unknown, um, uh, psychological issues, psychological conditioning. I think a lot of people are waking up like, damn, realizing how bad conditioning is, how deep it goes, and how subtle it is. Even when you know in your waking state, like, I'm not controlled by those things. Meanwhile, even though I'm eating healthy now, I made enchiladas. I think that's what they're called. When you put the bread and the meat in the middle and all the stuff that comes with it, and you can eat it like um, like some Mexican type stuff. But and I was eating it not using like hamburger or meat, but mushrooms, right? Because mushrooms can be in for use as meat. I still wanted a Heineken. I still wanted beer. That's so Pisces, by the way. But it's all of it together. Venus desires being coming up out of me. But I also think it was a subtle conditioning that Mexican food goes good with beer. Heineken's, Coronas, right? I could not get the taste. I wanted to buy Heineken so bad. I can still taste it as I'm having this conversation with you, but it's stuff like that, right? We are noticing the subtle ways that we really are conditioned, even though we know better. And we might think that we're not. Um, yeah, so so it could be a lot of those things like that, self-awareness. Um, it could be being selfish, impulsive, direct and violent, anger, um, those lower things can definitely come up here. But Aries is also taking accountability for our self-healing and wounds and wrongdoings in general, just being accountable in general. For, well, now how are you going to address the fact that, you want Heinekens or Coronas when you're eating Mexican food, right? And just, addressing that however you see fit. Yourself, your body, your image, how you're showing up to people. um, self-confident, your confidence. Um, it's fast action movement. What's your motivation? What motivates you to get up to do something? Being a leader, taking the lead in something. Soldiers, military, so people on the front line, even invaders, in some way, shape, or form. This could be. Pretty sure we're gonna hear lots about the war while all this Aries energy gets activated. Um, Especially once we move more into Aries season, because Pisces right now, things are still behind the scene. It's fake news. You don't know what to trust. They got all kinds of news channels selling fear and, you know, all that other stuff. And it's like, okay, nobody really cares, right? But once we move into Aries season and with this Jupiter conjunction, it's like Jupiter wants the truth. And so I think we're going to see a lot more stories coming out telling what's really going on. Jupiter also rules borders and other countries. So I can only imagine what's coming out about that. Um, it rules your head. Um, Being assertive, sharp objects, surgery, sports, violence. I think I said violence already, anger, fire, speed, veterans, firefighters, first responders. I feel like I said that already too. Gangs, iron, tools in general. Um, I think we can hear a lot more people making their own things, not just food, but growing their own things, but being creative here, and developing skills. I think a lot more people will go back to school, but like I said, because Mars is in Gemini, these are short courses or learning or studying something to help you learn a skill or master a skill or get better at a skill. This could be, I said the head, right? The head, brain, your skull, your face. So any kind of I just posted a video in my stories yesterday about how TikTok has these um uh how do you call those things where it's putting makeup on your face and how it makes you look? And this girl did an example of one of those things, and she showed the face, how it makes you look, and then her real face. I mean, I not that she was like ugly or anything, but we all have like little black spots over our face. I said, "Oh my God." It was actually really kind of nice. It wasn't like over the top makeup. I think that's what I liked about it the most. But makeup with Venus, beauty, doing your nails and jewelry, objects like pearls, jewels, things like that. Um, um, I feel like this can be more headaches, migraines, and head trauma. We might hear a lot about that, especially when it comes to sports. I'm still really surprised that nobody talks about the movie that Will Smith did with the um the football injuries to the head and how people like go crazy from that. Maybe we'll hear more about that. We'll see. And the eyes, they say the eyes are the windows to the soul. So I feel like people are waking up to who they have been or who they've been seeing themselves as to seeing themselves as they really are and seeing that we've really kind of been getting in our own way of success and being the best that we can be and really taking responsibility for that, healing, getting better, doing what we have to do to get better, getting a coach, seeing a guru, Jupiter, and Venus, by the way, mentorship, counseling, just really addressing, what's getting in the way as it comes up and becomes clear to us. I think we're going to see a lot of that stuff coming up here, and it could be through relationships, um, through dealing with other people, because the opposite of Aries is Libra, and it's always you against others whenever we're talking about the Aries Libra axis. your nose, so it could be sinuses. I said I think it was going to be a hot summer because Jupiter is going to be in Aries. It was last year. I don't think that's going to change. I think it's going to be another hot summer. And so there could be high sinuses for springtime. These are your flight or fight responses. Um, the hustle and bustle. I think I've already talked about this. If you go back to when Mars was in its own sign of Aries, I think that was the end of 2020. And I talked a lot about how this is going to be the rise of masculine energy, and women kind of going into their own feminine energy, giving back the spotlight to the men. I feel like more of these themes are going to come up and be addressed. Also, I think men are going to start to step up and take their rightful role, by healing, addressing their issues, etc., etc. Baldness, inflammatory diseases, high blood pressure, weight loss and fitness, um, and iron deficiency. It also rules blood the color red as well. Aries does. So that's why I got red on, and I'm Venus in Aries. This is me accentuating my. Okay, I got a moment, guys. Okay, and Jupiter is the ruling planet of the ancient ruler to Pisces and the co-ruler to Sagittarius. So again, Pisces energy is heavily activated anytime we're talking about Jupiter. Um, and here are some themes that come with those signs. Um, faith, spirituality, sign symbols, daydreaming, synchronicities, numbers, your spirit guides, muses, and ancestors. Really good time to get in contact, connect with them, notice the signs and symbols. Again, like I said, that awakening that we're getting from the Aries energy, I really, really think people are going to be having some amazing dreams, connecting to their ancestors. Their ancestors trying real hard to get your attention, to pay attention to certain things, to make these changes. You're really going to have your team, your tribe, especially with Pluto moving into Aquarius this month after that first Aries new moon at the end of the month. Major electric connections to the sky god, Aquarius. And I think it's going to be, I think it's going to be a real good transit. So, um, mm, retreating, retreats, anything behind the scenes, private spaces and areas, what you do before you go to bed, because Aries is about the self and Venus does rule sex. And so doesn't Mars, by the way. Um, I feel like this is sexually pleasing yourself, getting in tune with who you are, learning yourself sexually, sensually, on a deeper level, in whatever way that you do that, and learning how to manifest through that. So this can definitely be yoga, tantra, Reiki, um, learning through the subconscious, any kind of subconscious things, like listening to healthy healing music while you're falling asleep. Um, yeah. Um, and just rest, relaxing, sleep, mental prison, the actual prison system. I'd love to hear some stuff come out about that, and mental health, um, health in general, hospitals, pharmaceuticals, oil, water. We'll hear a lot about these themes also because it's about oil. I'm pretty sure, again, the theme of war is definitely going to be revisited. Travel, immigration, borders, culture in general, but different cultures. We just had the um um, earthquake in is it Turkey? I think we're going to hear a lot of people coming here for retreat or to get away or crossing borders, if you will. Um, through like Red Cross. The Aries definitely does rule Red Cross. Um, um, Universal law, higher law, higher education, your beliefs, morals, ethics, philosophy, religion, if you're into that type of thing, broadcasting, public speaking. So a lot of media here, especially when you add Mars and Gemini, because Gemini actually does rule the media, news and um, receiving messages and stuff like that. Um, Publishing, optimism, luck, and abundance. So I do think that a lot of those themes are going to be coming up. I also did some posts on Chiron again. I did have some themes here that I wrote down, family, but maybe I'll post them underneath this post or I'll find some time to put them on the website. But I mean, maybe I'll just do them. I haven't been on here that long. Um, I feel like a lot of people are going to feel happy, ecstatic, enthusiastic, inspired, joy, pleasure, and everything might seem a little bit easier. Things tend to fall into place. Um, and romance, beneficial relationships, got the green light, the thumbs up, a privilege, a benefit, a blessing, allies, beneficial people or partnerships of influence, the right person at the right time, opportunities to build collaborations, things that we love, that we're attracted to, that are moral or admirable, meaning, whatever your morals and ethical beliefs are, you're going to be over the moon, ready to go off and do those things again, good or bad. I talked about the big jewelry, big beauty, provocative. I took some pictures. Ego and showing off for sure in a very big way. Use it for the right things, make sure if you're a business, you're really using this to advertise. And if you're just a regular everyday person, you know what? If you got it, flaunt it. That's what I'm gonna say, because I don't think people are gonna be able to really hide it. Warrior goddess energy, advocates, especially advocates for women, strong women leaders, feminism, women's sports, women empowerment. I think we're going to see a lot of those themes. I also think with the Chiron energy, which again, I did do a post on, we're going to see a lot of women again taking accountability to heal their wounds, and men understanding their feminine energy within them. As we heal, they heal, and in turn, it allows men again to step into their place, their rightful position, and women will feel more secure, allowing them to do this as we're on this journey together. I wouldn't be surprised if there are not a lot of relationships that come together at this time with the same agreement that we're going to try to do better. As we are recognizing again what we need to work on, which I think can be really, really beautiful for the right people, right reasons, and right purpose. Extravagant indulgence, lust, overeating, overspending, sexual impulses, greed, vanity, bullying, and being domineering. Um, this could be over the top kindness or political correctness, exaggeration, for the purpose of getting something, or manipulation to fulfill an agenda. So be careful with that Pisces energy. It's subtle now because we're all like over it. We're not. Everybody's over Pisces right now. With people hiding and playing the victim. And I can't even begin to tell you how many racial stories have come out during this time, how they are really trying to get us all riled up. I really pray and wish that people continue to ignore these people. Do not let them get to you. I think there was something about Aunt Jemima I heard, Ben Stein. There was a few other stories that came out over these last few weeks that I was just like, there goes Pisces. I can shut up. No, but it's the propaganda, right? So remember, news is politically set up to and incite some kind of reaction out of Black people specifically to keep us in a lower vibration. So as long as you remember that, turn off the fucking television. Okay? Just don't play it anymore. But anyway, it's it could also be things like it's not what you know, it's who you know. So if you're trying to get a job or opportunities, again, great time to put yourself out there or just um, advertise yourself best as you can, um, to get yourself out there so that you can be open and available to opportunities that definitely want to come in now. Now, the entire Aries season, and for both new and full moon, full Aries moons, okay? Backstabbing, gossip. I don't care about others, just the end goal, and professional networks. And it could also be taking a risk. Don't let your fear hold you back. You could learn something new about yourself. Um, Naughty one night stands is definitely in the cards with Mars and Gemini. Cheating on your diet and cheating on your New Year's resolution. So a lot to take in there, but take down notes, you guys, write things out. Um, have it in your mind what it is you want to focus on and what you don't. Burn what you don't. Hang up something, the things that you do somewhere where you could see it all the time, to reflect, to sleep on it, to meditate on it, to manifest. Okay, be intentional with this. This is really, really good energy, despite, two sides of the sword here. It's good or bad, but it's really giving you the opportunity, I think, this time to show up differently than you have been. And I do think a lot of people are going to be doing that. They're going to want to do that. They're going to be inspired to do better. So if you've got old or past people coming into your life, um, obviously if it's violent and you can't trust these people, obviously I'm not talking about that, but small squabbles and minor things to get closure. Even for the people that you can't talk to, write that out, your apology, your forgiveness, and burn that as well, as a way to release the pain, and hopefully in Reiki and giving back to people, like, to close a chapter, to bring closure to somebody and the situation in general. So, as usual, family, I love and appreciate you. I hope you found this information helpful. Peace.